What is going on YouTube and weight loss warriors? It's your boy C-Dub and I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk to you guys about fat shaming and the obesity epidemic, and I'm going to do it right after this. Hey guys, what is going on? If it's your first time clicking on my channel, I lost 125 pounds eating just one meal a day. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope that you become a subscriber. And for those of you that have already subscribed and you're a weight loss warrior, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being a part of my channel. So in today's topic, it is a very important topic that's very near and dear to my heart, being that I was once morbidly obese. And I wanted to bring this up, and it could be one of, if not the most important video I'm ever going to do, because I'm going to talk to you guys about fat shaming and how that made me feel, and kind of how some of the things go on with that and how it ties into the obesity epidemic in our country. And I'm going to make it in a way, I hope, that informs you guys of a lot of good information, and it tells you guys a lot of things that you needed to know. And if you at the end of this video enjoy it, please share this content with somebody so that we can all get this message loud and clear. So this message comes after a talk show host, Bill Mueller, made a comment on his television show saying that we need more fat shaming. We need fat shaming to come back. And so I had heard about the clip, and then I watched the clip, which of course I will have linked in the description below. I watched the clip and I was like, wait a minute, where did fat shaming ever really go? And what does he mean? Does he need to get rid of it? And the more he talked, the more I was kind of like, oh wow, this guy is so uneducated about what is really happening in the world, which just leads me to know that so many more people are uneducated. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I wanted to make a little bit more light under the eyes of what is actually going on in the world today. So fat shaming, of course, as an obese person, getting on an airplane is a struggle. Being able to do normal things like sit at restaurants and your stomach goes to the table and you're struggling to get in and you have to ask for a new seat. Or the list of things goes on and on and on about when you have to be accommodated for stuff, and then the way that makes you feel, and then the way that the people make you feel, maybe snickering or looking at you weird, other people looking around you. And so it's something that happens all the time. And so his comment was that we need more of that, and that we need to put more shame on people, because that will get them unlazy and get them motivated to lose weight. And it really brought back memories of people that were close to me talking to me when I was obese. I heard so often things like, oh, if you could just lose a little bit of weight. And then I would say, well, and they would go, well, it's really just calories. You just have to watch what you're eating. You just have to take a little bit of time out of your day to go exercise. You just need to do a little more than you're doing. And generally when this is coming from somebody, it's coming from somebody that's thinner than you. And you're thinking, well, they don't know me, and you start to get offended. And in some cases, some of the things they say may even be true, and that hurts your feelings too. So it's just a vicious cycle of stuff. And it comes sometimes from people that care about you the very most. And so honestly, they're trying to reach out to you and say, hey, we want to help, but they don't know how to say it, and they don't know how to say it in a way that makes you feel good about yourself. So what ends up happening is you go into a bigger depression, and you're already in a depression, whether it's diagnosed or not. A lot of times you just don't feel good about yourself when you are overweight. So by them doing this, it just brings up more and more things, and it brings up more feelings, and you end up eating more. And even if you do well for a while because you're extra motivated, then you fall off of that. And then once you fall off of that, you feel even worse about yourself, and it just creates this big vicious cycle. So he was saying we need to do more of that. But what he doesn't understand is fat shaming is bullying. Fat shaming is actually taking something and it's putting it on somebody, and it's carrying more weight on them. So they're already carrying their physical weight, and now you're adding more weight onto them mentally, and you're draining that person even more. When in reality, is it that person's fault? And we can all say, absolutely, it's your fault. You guys have let me sit here and say you have to look at yourself in the mirror. And even though those videos, when I do things like that, get more thumbs down than anything else, but at the end of the day, I always try to say, hey, you got to take accountability. But let's just take that accountability and push it to the side for a half a second and understand that there are real life problems here that aren't your fault and that you have to be able to correct. One of those problems is leptin and ghrelin and how they act in your body. And another one is insulin and insulin resistant. And these are things that you did not choose to have happen to you. These are things that have happened over the course of time, and most of the time happened without you being educated enough to know it's happening. And we live in a culture and a society where food is crammed at us at all times. And because food is when we celebrate, and food is when we get sad, and food is when we've done something good, and food is when we've passed our test, and there's always a time to celebrate and go eat and go and gorge ourselves. And then everywhere we go in our busy lives, which get busier and busier and busier as people, there's a fast food place on this corner and a fast food place on that corner and a Starbucks over here and a Dunkin' Donuts over there. And there's just constant easy access to drive through kind of fast-paced foods. And then those industries are even getting better at delivering their foods. You know, you can go through a Chick-fil-A line that's 50 cars deep in 10 seconds today. You know, it's just one of those things that these people are getting more and more efficient. They're getting more and more easy to make you make terrible decisions that cost you in the long run. And it puts an entire country, and not just the United States, it puts an entire world on blast. This is not a United States problem, which is another thing Bill said in his clip was, in the United States, we. Well, that's a joke, because this is a worldwide epidemic. And we are getting bigger and bigger and bigger because we don't know what to do. So, if it led you to this channel just to hear about that and you don't know what to do, I want to get a little bit into that. But before I do that, I just want to let you know that if your ghrelin and your leptin don't work, and if your insulin is not working properly, and all of your hormones are out of line, if your genetics aren't quite as gifted as other people's, all can play in to what is going on with you personally. And so until you get that fixed, you can't do much about your weight loss, because cutting back on your calories, which is what everybody tells you to do, has been proven over the course of time not to work, because it's going to lower your metabolism. And then when you get back to eating at what your TDEE says you should, you will end up gaining weight. And it's a catch-22. The Biggest Loser has proven that. The Biggest Loser study has proven that. We've proven it time in and time out that the system that we present to the people in our world is a wrong system. It does not work. And so we have to understand that it is not entirely our fault. But if you've clicked on this channel and you've been to this channel before, I have educated you in what you need to do. Not only have I educated you, but there's several other great YouTubers that give you the same education and the same talks all of the time. There are doctors, there are people in the world right now that are understanding that what we've always done is got us where we are today, and that we have to do something different. And so, you know, when we talk about that, people are going to jump straight to the diet, and they're going to say, you have to have this kind of diet, or this is the diet you have to have. But the reality is not the diet. The diet has not destroyed our country. What has destroyed our world? What has caused us to be obese is the frequency in which we eat. And that is the bottom line. You can say your diet is great or this diet is great, and we can scam things out to people, and we can say, you know what, you can eat all day long as you're eating no carbs and you're eating fats and you're doing this or you're doing that. And on the other side, we can say you can eat all day long as you cut fat out of your diet and as long as you do this and that. And all these things we can promote and we can sell, and we can put our meal plans, and we can do everything that there is to do in that way. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we're eating too often, because we're going to overdo it. And that is where our culture is today. We are now overdoing what we normally should do. And therein lies the problem. So what is the answer? The answer is intermittent fasting. The answer is to stop using the mentality that they tell you every day that you need to eat 6 times or 3 times a day, that 3 square meals is the right way to go, because it's not the right way to go. 3 square meals has got us where we're at right now. What you need to do is take breaks from eating periodically. I don't care if you end up choosing to do a 16-8. I don't care if you choose to do a warrior. I don't care if you choose to do OMAD. It does not matter, alternate day fasting, but you have to find a time in which you are no longer eating to allow your body to heal, to allow yourself to get into a situation where your body can recover from what it's doing. So, telling a group of people that they're overweight and they should be ashamed of that is not going to help us fix the problem. Shaming somebody is not going to get them to do the things that they need to do it right. What will is educating them. What will is talking to people. What will help people is sharing this video and telling them that it's just a simple matter of taking a break from food. Your hunger will go away. Everything will change, your life will get better, and everything becomes easier once you stop eating all of the time. And that it is fixable. Your ghrelin, your leptin, your insulin resistance can be fixed. I am standing here as living proof. And it's very frustrating sometimes knowing that I know the answer, but I can't share it with everybody. So I hope you help me share this video. I hope that people will go out there and find people like me that are trying to spread the good word, that it is totally 100% in the frequency that we eat, and that if you are fat shaming people, you are the problem. You're not the solution. Instead of fat shaming people, how about spread good information? How about tell them how they can change themselves instead of making them feel bad for something they really ultimately can't control. Alright guys, I appreciate all of you for clicking on this video. My face is popping up over here. Click on it and subscribe to your boy. I can't say enough about you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.